Welcome to the show. We have a real quick show today. As you can see, I've got my gas forge going in the background here. This is not completely assembled. I have been working on it all day long, ran into a couple of troubles, nothing major, but things I had to run back and forth to the store to get some additional parts. So I won't expect to be done with this build until tomorrow, and then probably look for the video, I would guess, on Thursday or so. But I thought I would try something. I've been thinking about doing like a regular tool review every Tuesday. Call it Tools Day, I don't know. So anyway, this is kind of going to be the inaugural tool review. And as anybody knows who's been watching my show for any length of time, one of my very favorite tools, and a tool that I feel like I can't live without, I could not do the things I've done without, is this. It's a simple 4.5-inch angle grinder. I bragged up the angle grinder before. I've said that this is a tool that that you can do almost anything with. And in fact, probably about a month ago, I did a video. It's actually turned out to be a very popular video where I used essentially nothing but an angle grinder. In fact, this angle grinder to create a knife. And I'm trying to think if I might have used a couple little hand tools just to put the final edge on it. But I made the point that you can even you can use a grinder to put an edge on a knife too. And I actually did. I think I did put an edge on it with that, but then I kind of went for a little bit finer edge with some hand tools. But essentially, an angle grinder is a tool that, especially when you're starting out in knife making, there are some knife makers who don't use any power tools at all, and those guys are absolutely amazing, and some of them can do, you know, fantastic work. But for those of us who don't mind using power tools, but maybe don't have a lot of money, the angle grinder, it does so many different jobs. And I'll probably roll in some B-roll footage here just to kind of make the point, to drive the point home. You can do almost everything that you need to do to make a knife, you can do with an angle grinder. So I'm not going to belabor the point any more than that. Like I said, I will show some B-roll here of different ways that I've used the angle grinder. I'll also post a link to that video where I made a knife entirely with the angle grinder, and I'm kind of thinking about doing it again. That was a really popular video, and I might do another video like that soon coming up. But I do want to mention specifically this grinder. This is the only angle grinder that I have ever owned. I have used other angle grinders. This is the only one I've ever owned. This is a Bostitch. It is a 7 amp, and it is a 4.5, which is a very, very common size for the the discs that you buy for them. So it's a 4.5-inch, but it's a 7 amp grinder, and I have never had a problem with this thing being underpowered. I'm kind of surprised because I know you can buy much more powerful grinders. This is kind of I would call it kind of a middle-of-the-road grinder. I've seen some, well, I mean, they go all the way up, and there's some that have these huge discs that look like those old records on them, and but I think a 9 amp, is another common size. That's, you might run a 4.5-inch disc with a 9 amp or 7 amp. And I've seen smaller ones too, but this is a good a middle-of-the-road size, middle-of-the-road power, and for me, it's proven itself. I've had it for 2.5 years, and in that time, it has run completely without a hiccup. There was one, I think it was maybe last fall, 2 or 3 months ago, that I had an issue where I had been running it really, really hot. I mean, really, really hot for a long time, doing a lot of hard work with it. And I thought the bearings were starting to go out or something. It didn't sound quite right. So I had this concern. And so I thought, well, I've put this thing through a lot of work. Maybe it's time to replace it. Well, then a couple of days later, I used it again, and it was running fine. And it's been running fine ever since. So, yeah. So it's been a great grinder. This is the Bostitch. I will show one feature of it that's kind of cool. It has a 3-position handle. You can screw that out of there and screw it in up here. Sorry, the light in here isn't real great. Let me see if I can bring a little bit more light to the subject here. This is really terrible lighting, but there. So that's one position, and then you can run that off the other side, or you can run it off the top. So it's got a three position handle. I will call attention also to the fact that oh my goodness. I took there's a guard that normally goes on here. Never take that guard off. I took the guard off for something I was doing, and then I lost it. And so, so after losing it, I have never been able to recover it, and I haven't been able to use it again, which is actually not a good idea at all. And you'll see that in some of the B-roll that I throw in here, that I'm not using a guard, and I really should. I've been snagged and cut a couple of times. Not horribly, but bad enough that I wish I still had that guard back. So, so don't take the guard off, but otherwise, this is a great little grinder. So what I'll do, I have an Amazon affiliate account, so I will link to actually this model. When I bought this, it came in a pack. It had some discs with it, and it had some other stuff. So I will link to that one on Amazon. And then I'll probably also throw in a link to a little bit cheaper one. You know, this is a very good quality grinder, but I don't want the price to turn anybody away. With that said, you might go, because prices are changing all the time on Amazon, you might go down there and there might be a really good deal on this one. But I will throw probably like a Black & Decker or some other model, a link to that one too. So you can check in the description below. I will have those links. And that's one way to help support the channel if you're interested, because I do get a small commission off of those sales from Amazon if you use that affiliate link. Of course, you don't have to use my links. You can get an angle grinder any place. I've seen them at Walmart. I've seen them at hardware stores, home improvement stores. They're all over the place. Don't feel like you have to use my link, but certainly do so if you want to. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Again, I've got I'm sort of curing. I don't think you really need to cure these fire bricks, but I'm doing it anyway just in case. So that's why that's sort of idling back there. Actually, let me crank that up for you so you can see. See if I can get the microphone in there so you can hear that properly. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting that project done and sharing that whole build with you. At the end here, I will also link to the burner build I did separately from the forge. That is a complete build now, so I'll link to that build and you can check that out. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful night, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I'd love to have you as part of the community. And I guess that's it. Have a great night. We'll see you in the next video.